Aloha artists, Miss Sue Trove here. Did you know that every tree follows a pattern? If you look at trees, you can find the pattern of how they grow. And most trees follow the same pattern. I'm going to show you that pattern today, and we're going to use it to draw a beautiful tree. Let's get started. So for drawing any tree, they all follow the same pattern. This is a tree out in my yard, and even this one, I can show you how it works. It follows a pattern that starts with two parallel lines. Parallel is when two lines are going in the same direction. We've got parallel, parallel. They go like this. Same direction, parallel, parallel. And then, after they're going the same direction, this trunk starts to come apart. So those two lines start to go away from each other. Parallel, parallel, apart, apart. Just like this. Parallel, parallel, apart, apart. But then we have the next step, which is when we put in the V. So see how there's this space in the middle? There's a V that goes right there. And the interesting thing about this is that once you've put that V in there, we have two new sets of parallel lines. Can you find two lines that are going the same way that way and the same way that way? When you see those, that becomes our new parallel, parallel. So we do these two parallel, parallel, apart, apart, put in the V. You see two new parallel there, parallel, parallel, apart, apart, put in the V. What makes every tree different is how it grows while it does that pattern. Each of the branches might twist and turn. It might grow a long way before it branches off, or it might branch a whole lot at once, but they're still all going to follow some version of this pattern. Let's try our own drawing now. So I'll draw in Sharpie so you can see it closely. That means that any so-called mistakes I make, there'll be an opportunity to be creative, and I will decide what to do with them. So I have two lines going the same direction. They are parallel, both coming up. Now they're going to go apart, apart. And I'm going to put in the V. Now I see these two lines going this way. Parallel, parallel, apart, apart, put in the V. And I can do here, parallel, parallel, apart, apart, put in the V. I'm going to catch up some other areas. Parallel, parallel, apart, apart, put in the V. Over here I can do the same thing, parallel, parallel, and maybe it even curves before it then comes apart, apart, put in the V. See what I did there? This one might curve this way, parallel, parallel, apart, apart, put in the V. But I can also keep going just simply parallel, parallel, apart, apart, put in the V, parallel, parallel, apart, apart, put in the V. And what's neat about this is that the branches get smaller and smaller the farther along it gets. And so at some point, they become just sticks. And at that point, I'm just going to let it become that and stop. Ooh, I've got something interesting that's going to happen here. I'm going to have an overlap because these branches are coming together. Parallel, parallel, apart, apart, put in the V. And I'm going to have this one go this way. This happens all the time when trees grow. Their branches overlap. They do all sorts of interesting things. I'll make that one go parallel, parallel all the way behind, and then grow apart, put in the V, and then see that one there? It's still going behind. I'm going to go up a whole lot, apart, apart, put in the V, and this one over there, it's in the V, and it's going like that, Now, this tree, I can leave it without any leaves like we're on the mainland in the wintertime. But also, now that I have this, I can cover the rest, hide the rest of the branches in the leaves, in the foliage. So I get to decide what sort of shape this is going to be around here. And so what I like doing is kind of like a cloud, but a little more interesting. So I am having some leaves that are hanging down over the branches. And so these ones are going down, so it's like the bottom of the cloud. But then there's the part that's above the leaves where the sun is hitting that are up close. And I can still make this tree a very interesting shape, depending on how I think it grew. And so there is my tree. I would love to see how yours turn out. Let's grow a whole forest of unique and beautiful trees.